Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Whether using data to power AI or some other application, an enterprise needs to build 4 key sets of controls around data. Rehan Jalil, CEO of Securiti, joins me to discuss. Rehan, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Jill, thank you so much for hosting. It's a pleasure to be with you on this call.
You got it. What is the transformative potential of generative AI?
Jill, I think just to understand the Gen AI's potential, if we look through the lens of what transformed humans to be superior, it's our unique ability to communicate sophisticated ideas in various languages, learn and adopt. Now, machines lack this ability, unless now, of course, with the Gen AI, the machines have the potential to understand the structure of all human languages, in fact, all human knowledge, and adapt and learn from it. Moreover, I would say that the machines can now talk the same languages that humans speak. So the barrier between machines and humans kind of is gone away. Now, on the other hand, if you actually have trillions of gigabytes of data that actually sits worldwide within the public domain and within the enterprise, if these machines can learn and adapt from it, you can understand the potential from it. So sitting on the shoulders of the previous major transformations, this is probably the biggest and the fastest transformation in every aspect of human life and work, which we're going to see.
What is unique about generative AI that makes it difficult to manage data risk within them?
I think these Gen AI models are pretty much like mini brains, just like a human brain. If I tell you something, a fact, I cannot expect you to forget it. I cannot ask you to, hey, Jill, can you please forget what I told you? Very much like these Gen AI models, you cannot give it the data and expect it to forget. So, and this data that represents human life and could be confidential, what you give it to it, you have to make sure that, this is not something sensitive, because on the other side of it, it can be prompt engineered and somebody can actually take the data out as is. So managing the data is even more critical around these Gen AI models.
What are the key risks that an organization must tackle when regarding generative AI?
So I think they're fundamentally, I would say, 3 categories of risks. Number one, they're going to be proliferation of Gen AI models. An organization would need to understand what these models are getting used, what are risky, because these models could be malicious, they could be poisoned. The second category is going to be regulatory risk. In addition to the existing data protection regulations, you have dozens of AI regulations globally in flight to be developed. The third, I would say the biggest risk is an organization's ability to, in fact, leverage Gen AI in a safe manner and unleash all the innovation is directly proportional to the level of intelligence they have around data and the automation of controls that is there. It's very much similar to, just like a car. If you don't have a steering wheel, you don't have good visibility, and if you don't have good brakes, you cannot go fast. Very much the same, if you don't have good visibility around data and you don't have good controls, you really cannot go fast and cannot unleash its true power within the enterprise. So those are the risks that need to be managed before you can fully unleash the power of the Gen AI within the enterprise.
How would organizations operationalize data intelligence and controls to unleash Gen AI's true power?
I think more than ever, the organizations need something, let's call it a data command center. This data command center, first of all, should provide the true full visibility around the data and the context around the data and the ability to put automated controls around it. Then you can unleash its true power. Now, what does it really mean from intelligence and data context lens? Number one, there has to be a good inventory of data around the organization. And this data, because it's all jumbled up, it has to be classified, it's been properly automatically. This data command center should be able to help to classify the data properly. And then context. Now, you have the data, you have the classification. What is the context? What is the application, data protection laws that apply? What is the internal policies? What is the consent that exists? What's the quality of this data? And then next to it is the inventory of the Gen AI models within the data command center that should be there, and their risk and their safety of those models have to be there. In terms of controls, it goes into what data can be fed and to what Gen AI models and which models have what entitlements to this data. That becomes even more important. And then controls such as, who can access what thing? Can you do dynamically mask it? Do you need differential privacy kind of things? That has to be, again, automated. And then what data has been fed to what model over time? Because as I said, models are like mini brains. That data is sitting there and somebody can actually, extract the data out of it. So this is to bring the true power of the Gen AI within the enterprise. Data command center has become even more critical.
Okay, Rehan, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Jill, thank you so much for hosting. Enjoyed the discussion.